You're watching On Demand. Please check the closing time before trying to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
On today's Loose Women Live, Ruth Langsford, Brenda Edwards, Colleen Nolan, and me, Joanna Page.
Thank you very much. You had a drink, you lot. Thank you, that's a really lovely welcome. Welcome to you at home. It is Wednesday, it is Loose Women, and we're very, very pleased to have your company. Coming up today, actress Sandra Bullock, whose partner sadly passed away at the weekend, described him as the love of her life. And we're asking, do you believe in the idea of having just one true love? Also, this takes the idea of an intimate dinner to a whole new level. Would you attend a naked dinner party? Yeah, with a bunch of strangers, OK? It is an actual thing. It's an actual thing. And Colin, you'll be pleased to know it's vegan. It's a vegan meal. Not
Is it though?
Not
Is
a
it
sausage
though?
in sight. Oh, we're going to have
topic.
We're going to have so much fun with that one. Also, inspired by some of our favourite Gavin and Stacey moments, we are delving into some everyday moral dilemmas for you in our brand new game. Help me out, Joanna.
Oh, what's occurring?
And we're doing that because, as you can see, we are delighted to have Stacey herself, the lovely guest panellist who is Joanna Page. It is lovely to have you here. And, Joe, we were just reminiscing about Gavin and Stacey, weren't we, backstage, and saying there was a scene where you were lying on the sofa in Billericay and you didn't have much to do, and you were talking to Gav, and he says, like, come on, Stace, you need to get out there. And what did you say?
Oh, I said, which one was that? Oh, no,
After
I
I
said
what?
this. I said, yeah, I'll be out, but I just want to finish watching Loose Women first.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Yes.
You did indeed. So you're a fan of Loose Women, we're a fan of you, and you were here very recently, actually.
Yes, it was about 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
As a guest,
Yeah.
talking about Cooking with the Stars. and all that.
We had the final yesterday. Oh, my goodness. I was watching it and I was crying. It was so stressful.
Yeah.
And I knew what happened. But when I was watching it with my husband in one of the episodes, I say in it, oh, my gosh, Michael, I don't know how I'm going to be able to go back to normal life now and with all of this cooking and just be normal. And at the time, my husband said, look at you, you're sitting there, you've got a pot noodle and you've also got a Chinese takeaway in front of you. What are you talking about?
Well, listen, it's lovely to have you with us. And so let's get on to our first topic. Students, apparently, they're waiting for their A-level exam results, but they've been told to brace for a lot of disappointment because figures suggest that 50,000 of them might miss out on top grades. So Ofqual, which is the exams watchdog for England, they say they won't be making any special allowances following all the disruption caused by teachers' strikes. And they say this is in order to get grades back down to pre-pandemic levels. So a lot of disappointment for a lot of students out there who are working very hard, as we know, needing those high grades, maybe expecting those high grades. So we're very sorry if that's you, but it did get us talking about disappointment in general, you know, disappointment in your life. How do you deal with it? How did you deal with it when you're young? Do you deal with it differently? And I presume as an actress, you know, when you're all going off to, well, all of you performers, auditions, people going, no, thanks, next. You know, terrible disappointment.
Oh, it's really, it's hard. Being an actress, you get used to it. And I think the older I've got, the better I can deal with things and deal with my disappointment. But my worst time was years ago when I auditioned for the big West End show, Dirty Dancing. And I got down to the last 3 girls. Oh, my gosh, I'd gone back so many times.
To play
Baby,
role,
for the main role. And I'd gone back so many times. It was going really well. I'd just gone in and read with, you know, the fella who was playing Johnny. And then I walked out of the door and literally just like that, they just said, OK, then thank you very much, Joanna. You can go now. We don't need you anymore. And it's brutal. They just drop you like that.
It's like that.
But I remember thinking, OK, just don't cry in front of everyone. So I said, OK, yeah, well done, everybody. You know, hope it goes well. And I walked out and got onto the Strand, and then I just went boof, burst out crying. And I saw the Savoy Hotel opposite me. So I thought, stuff it, I'm going there, I'm not going home. So I went over to the Savoy. I walked up to the desk and I was crying at this point, and I said, have you got a room, please? And they said, yes, OK. And they looked at me quite strangely. And then I remember this man taking me up to the room. I was crying in the lift, going, I'm awfully sorry, I'm an actress and I've just lost out on a part. He must have thought I was mad. I got into the room, burst out crying, and then there was a knock on the door and they brought me up some chocolate. So that was embarrassing because I looked a right state. I'd been sweating like mad in my dance kit and it was covered in chocolate. So I decided to take off all my clothes and wash them. And then I sat down on the floor naked and raided the minibar. And I just remember...
It's like naked dining, that's coming up.
I remember drinking this bottle of champagne naked and eating crisps and watching John Prescott doing a speech. And then the next morning, I wouldn't phone home, so my husband had to phone the hotel. And I took myself out of the Savoy and I went to a shop and bought some underwear and a change of clothing. I went to Charing Cross Station. I went into the toilets and I gave myself a wash in the sink.
Having had been in the Savoy Hotel,
And then I
had a lovely bath and a shower.
And then I just wandered around London aimlessly, and then for the next 2 weeks I was very depressed, and then the script for Gavin and Stacey came in.
There you are.
So that was for a reason. Now with 4 kids, I can't afford to be that disappointed and put myself into the Savoy, if only.
No, but, and Brenda, you know, auditions for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, you'll always feel disappointed if you want something and you don't get it. But for me, with the audition process, it's if you go for an audition and then you don't hear anything, and they say no news is good news, but in musical theatre world, no news is not good news. It's just you.
So would you rather have them on the day?
I'd rather.
Thanks, no.
Well, maybe not on the day, but just to have. It's always nice to get some feedback of how you did or didn't do, what you could do to improve or whatever. Because we were speaking earlier, and it's a case of you might just not be right for that role.
Thank you. I don't need to know that you didn't like me and why you didn't like me. I don't want the feedback. Did I get it? Yes or no? I don't want the feedback, Cole.
It's good. It's positive. All feedback is good, positive feedback.
I would feedback.
It helps you grow.
No, because they give you feedback and they go, and you were so good and you did this and you look great and blah, but you still ain't got the job.
You're just not... For all you know, who you were working aside, they might not have been a right fit with you for aesthetically how it looks or for that way.
But Colleen,
there's lots of different...
I know that you don't even put yourself forward for things because you
because
dread
I'm a
any
coward.
of that happening.
I'm a coward and I go in there. I've done a couple of auditions and I've told them before I've left that I haven't got it.
No!
Yeah, because I just want them to not have the embarrassment of telling me how rubbish I was.
Oh!
Yeah.
No, because I go into one... If my audition was... We'll put you on in a theatre the first night of the show, I think I'll be fine. But to sit in a room with 3 or 4 people and they go, so your name? And I go, I don't know. I don't know. Or they've sent me a script 3 months before and I get there and you're meant to not have the script and I'm there like... Oh, because it's nerves.
But I know things
me.
that have come in that she's been offered and come along, and I know she's turned them down because she just can't cope with it.
I once had an audition and I'd been back about 9 times and it was going really good. And then they said to my agent, could you please tell her that we just don't think she's pretty enough before the next call back? Can she go to a department store and get them to do her makeup and everything and then come to the audition? Went back, that still wasn't good enough. And then they said, we're worried about her accent. Can she then go now and have some dialect coaching?
What accent?
And so then I had the coaching and then I got the part.
Somebody said she's not pretty enough and you have to take that on the chin
it's
and
brutal.
go back.
You've just got to take it. Yeah, it's hard.
Oh, we don't need that feedback, do we?
But it's better,
I rest my case. I don't need that feedback. Thank you very
The
much.
worst thing is, though, not finding out that you haven't got the job until it's actually you're seeing it on the TV, and then you go, oh, gosh, this is it. Well, I didn't get the part.
That happens on television a lot. I've had that quite often. Like, oh, I didn't get that then, she did. OK. Thing is, I think for me, I deal I probably deal better with disappointment as I've got older because it's a
Yeah,
maturity
definitely.
thing, isn't it? So when you're young and you've built up all your expectations for whatever it is, a boyfriend you want, a dress that you're hoping to fit into, whatever it is, and then it doesn't happen, you're crushed. But I think as life teaches you, you know, there are disappointments in life, and I get better at dealing with it. No, Brenda? She's like,
I think I get worse with age.
Yeah.
I am just, I want to show my disappointment. I'm not happy. No, it just gets worse.
Does it?
You think I'd learn, but
Yeah.
no.
No, can't hide it.
I can't hide it.
Can't
my
just
face
do
is
that.
all-
Oh, well.
all over her
Yeah,
face, let me tell
no,
you.
I'm not happy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Sometimes the greatest disappointment for me are in people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very good note to leave that topic.
Not this lot, though. They're brilliant.
Because normally with Colin, we leave it on a joke, but that was very deep.
That was.
Yeah.
That's the
biggest
deepest I'm going to get
disappointment
the
is
rest of my
people.
life. Yeah. Just
Strong.
you remember that.
Scared. I'm a bit scared now. Anyway, I'm going to move on. You're going to have to take a break, actually. After that, do you believe in the one? Also, would you root around in somebody else's skip? And it's very varied on this show. Nothing brings people together quite like food, but would you go to a dinner party in the nude? Ooh. I'm a poet and didn't know it. It's the thing. It's a real thing. Find out how we would RSVP to that invitation. See you after this. Welcome back to This Women. It's getting hot in here. But would you take off all your clothes to go to a dinner party with strangers? It's a thing. It's a thing. We're going to be discussing that in just a moment. One of us is no stranger to having a bit of brunch in their birthday suit, and it's not me. And from Barry Island to Billericay and now into our studio, inspired by our guest panellist Joanna, we're revealing how we would react to some of Gavin and Stacey's biggest dilemmas, and there were a lot. Before we do any of that, it's competition time for you. Your chance to win a prize package worth over £135,000. Very good wooing. You can come back. Thank you. Kate Lawler has got all the details for you.
I'm here on the glorious Avon Beach to tell you about a fantastic two-part prize that is still up for grabs, but you only have until this Friday to enter our competition. So what are you waiting for? First up, let me show you around Karen, the copper camper van. Just look at this beauty. This camper van is worth £86,000, and here's why. First of all, it sleeps for two down here. So comfy. And two up here, it's got a pop-up roof, it's got a fridge, it's got a gas hob cooker, and all the mod cons you could possibly ask for. Leather seats, a good honking horn, £86,000 this is worth, but we're not only giving away this, we're giving away £50,000 in tax-free cash for you to spend on whatever you desire. Just think of all the road trips you could be going on with this and 50 grand in the bank. But you've got to be quick, lines close this Friday. Here are all the details you need to enter our competition.
Text PRIZE to 88333. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website. Entries cost £2. Call 09068 783333. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY28 PO Box 7558 Derby DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 11th of August at 3 p.m. Good luck!
Thank you very much, Kate. Yes, good luck with that. Now, would you attend a dinner party completely naked? Ooh, lots of no's here. This is a new trend in New York. It's called the Food Dinner Experience, F-U-D-E. So it's like a mashup of food and nude, the Food Dinner Experience. So this sees, there you go, that's the lady laying her table, looks very nice. So a lot of strangers, group of strangers get together, take their clothes off, have a nice dinner, and this is in the hope, Colleen, of finding a deeper connection, OK? So there's this famous designer, OK? So she threw her own naked dinner party and she wrote about it for British Vogue. And she said, initially, she was absolutely dreading doing this, you know, getting naked with strangers. But she said after she'd done it, it actually made her feel more comfortable in her own naked body. So I've signed you up, all right? Next Tuesday, over at Brenda's. We're coming for the jerk chicken.
Yeah, the jerk chicken and all of that spitting coming off on your skin. Yeah, go for it.
Me, Joanna, Cole, we're all coming to yours. Would you join us, Colleen? No, but we're not strangers. Say it was a group of strangers.
I wouldn't do it with you.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
In any way, shape or form.
No.
And... Oh, just no.
Wouldn't you find strangers better, though, because you don't know them?
I don't think I'd get to know them because I'd just be like... I'd be trying not to look, but by trying not to look, it's obvious that you're awkward and you want to look.
And some of it might not be very pretty.
But that's what I mean.
You know, some of it could put you off, your sausage.
You know, sausage.
You're trouble.
You might even go for the wrong sausage, I don't know.
Might lean over to prong a sausage.
Oh my gosh, you've got to, what?
And it'd put you off your meringues, wouldn't it, for the dessert? No, not for me, that.
No, big no from Colleen.
Absolutely.
Joanna?
Personally, I wouldn't want to do it, but I have had to be naked on screen, you know, in film. I was naked in Love Actually.
Yeah.
And it's surprising, it's terrifying at first, but it is surprising how quickly you get used to it. So I remember we'd be filming and then they would come in, you know, with robes to put around you. And after a while, after we'd been doing it all day, they'd come in and they'd put the robe on and you'd get it, and then you'd sort of just put it straight off again. And then you go, oh my gosh, I'm in the nude, and you put it back on again. But you do get used to it.
You kind of forget.
Yeah, and I was naked on stage as well, and it was a promenade production, so all of the audience were on the stage, and we have to like
stage?
Yeah, they're on stage with you, and so you have to walk to different bits, and so you walk, and then the audience, I mean, dramatically parts when you're naked and walking towards them. I was playing Eve, and it was.
Well,
Adam
try
and
it.
Eve.
Try it.
Okay. Right. But I remember one night. We had a school party in, and we were Adam and Eve, and we had like bits of mud over us, so we were all a bit like muddy. And I remember one day Adam went to walk forwards, and there were these little schoolboys, and I just remember hearing one of them just going, "Miss, he's got a dirty willy." From the mud. But yeah, I don't think I could go to a dinner party and do it.
This has gone down a whole new road. Brenda,
you
would
could.
you?
Absolutely
would you?
not.
Really?
No. I mean, you know how just going topless when I was doing Full Monty, that really took
horrendous.
a lot for me to do that. There's absolutely no way I'm holding a dinner party. Sorry, Colleen. Sorry, Ruth. It's
What
not
about...
happening.
Oh, it's a shame, because I was really looking forward to that.
And the jerk chicken. I just, you know, I can't actually... I can't even know.
Everybody's speechless at the thought of this. What about... Do you ever walk around naked at home, just being naked? You
Yeah, I
being
do
naked
that.
privately?
I do that, yes. I'm private. Or if I had a partner, then that's, you know, and we want to, like... That might be quite good fun, having a naked meal, you know, or play strip food or some strip food poker or whatever. I don't know, not that, you know, while you eat a sausage and I'll take some off, you eat a bit of mash and I'll take some off, mashed potato pie, I don't know. That could be quite good fun, but not with other people that I don't know. But yeah, I'm very comfortable in my own skin, walking around my house and
But this
just
is...
me and the
this
cat.
Very dangerous
the
to
food
cook
is very
naked.
dangerous.
You've got to put an apron on. You put
You
an
wouldn't want to
apron
fry
on.
anything, would you?
No spitting fat.
Yeah, but I've done that. Put an apron on. I've put an apron on.
I think if I put an apron on now
yeah.
and I was in the nude,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to contain myself. I'd still get spat on.
Oh,
Things
okay,
were
love.
both sides.
But this is supposed to... It says, guests come together, Colleen, to enjoy a liberating space that celebrates our most pure selves through plant-based cooking, which you like, art,
but not naked.
nudity, self-love. You can connect and be your most pure, authentic self.
Oh, shut up.
No, it's definitely not for you.
No.
OK.
No, the plant plant-based thing is, but I just don't need to see a naked plant.
OK. Hands up in our audience who would go to the naked all-you...
Oh, quite a lot.
Lots.
Goodness.
Not many, actually. Not many.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Whoa.
They would. Some of them would, but not many. OK, we are going to take a break. Still to come, actress Sandra Bullock. It's reported that her partner sadly passed away at the weekend. Very, very devastating. And she did nurse him until the end. And she's described him as the love of her life. So we're going to be asking, do you believe in the love of your life, the one, as some people call it? Find out how Joanna found her one by spotting him on the telly. Also, you've heard of bird watching or plane spotting, but have you heard of Skip Watch? It is the latest internet obsession. I'm obsessed already. I love Skip. It's drawing in hundreds of Skip sleuths looking to catch people red-handed. That's live. We're watching that. Look, what's that woman going to do? Is she going to... No, nothing. Quick glance, nothing. OK. Find out which one of us actually got caught dumping something in somebody else's Skip. Tut, tut. Find out after this. Welcome back to Wednesday's Loose Women and keeping you company alongside me, Ruth Langsford, today. It is Colleen Nolan, Brenda Edwards, and our guest panellist today, Joanna Page. Now, we're playing that classic track because it is used on one of my favourite Gavin and Stacey scenes, sung by Uncle Bryn and Nessa. There they are. It was great, that scene, that barn dance. And we're taking inspiration from some more iconic Gavin and Stacey scenes a little bit later on. We've got a game to play with Joanna. First, though, very, very sad news. On Saturday, actress Sandra Bullock announced the heartbreaking news that her long-term partner, Brian Randall, had passed away following a private battle with ALS, which is a rare neurological disease. And in an interview, she described him as the love of her life, despite meeting him after the end of her marriage. And they didn't ever get married, but she said, you know, they were so committed to each other. Terribly, terribly sad. And it got us talking this morning about, do you believe in the one? Is there, you know, a soulmate? Do you believe, Brenda, that there is one person out there for you who is your one true love, your soulmate?
I like to think there is. You know, I'm that soppy fairy tale, believe in the happy ever after. Well, that's what I want. And the last week, I've literally been watching Enchanted every time I come home from the show. Which is a Disney cartoon where, you know, she's a cartoon princess and she finds her one, her prince, her one true love, and then she gets sent to Earth accidentally, and then she finds somebody else. She falls for somebody else, which I know that is possible, but I think, you know, you kind of know when that person is that person because it's just relaxed. It's not effortless. There's no effort to talk to them. I like to think that you can start as friends first and then you find the relationship grows because, as I've said, once the physical attraction is gone, well, I'm going to need something else to make me laugh.
I like the notion of it. I like the romantic novel of it, of the one true love of your life. And actually, Eamon and I have been together, excuse me, like 26 years. So, you know, but what I meant is I think that if Eamon hadn't found me or I hadn't found him, we probably would have found other people and been in love and had relationships. Because I think, you know, in relationships, you start off going, this is the love of my life. How many people do we know started off, this is the love of my life, and then they end up divorced?
Especially your first love.
Your first love, you know. We'll all look back on our first loves and go, you still love... You know, it was love. You probably didn't end up with them. Not many people ended up with their true love from school or your first love. So I think it's a lovely notion, but I think there are other people in the world that you would meet...
Well, I think it would be
still
sad...
have a love, an amazing love.
I think it would be sad not to think that because, for instance, in Sandra Bullock's case, you know, when you lose somebody who, yes, you loved so deeply, it makes me sad to think that she wouldn't be able to find love again. It might be completely different love, but it would still be love. And I think as you get older and you go through life, you know, your idea of love changes. I'm like you, I'm very romantic and I love being in love. But when I met Shane, who I'm married, we were 21. It's such a different feeling when you're 21. And then, I just think it's different. I think it's sad. I love, my sister who lost her husband, she's never met anyone. But I think the last 15, 18 years or something since he's been gone, I'm desperate for her to. Because I think
Do you think she's closed herself
You've
off
just
to
such
it,
a
though?
lot of love to give.
If you've had that real love in your life,
Yeah.
do you think you're closed off thinking, I'll never find someone
I
like
think there's
that?
an element of that, and I think there's an element of guilt, because in your head you're thinking, people are going to think I didn't love him, though, or I didn't love her. And I think the people that have passed, I remember when Bernie was passing, she really wanted her husband to meet someone else, and luckily he did, a gorgeous woman, and he's been really happy with her, and I was thrilled for that, because I think if you've got a lot of love to give and circumstances change that, it's sad to end up.
But
I
you
think
fell
with
in love
me-
with you fell in
yeah.
love with your husband before you'd even met him.
Well, I know. I saw him on the TV. I was quite lucky because he was playing a football coach who was also a fireman who drove a motorbike, and he was always in leathers. So, I mean, it was like three amazing things. And so I fell in love with him. Well, I don't know. I didn't fall in love with him. I basically really
Lust.
fancied
You fell in
him.
love
It was lust.
with
It
him.
was lust. And then I remember we talked for about 2 hours before we finally met and went on a date. And as we were talking, he was telling me about this shed which was in his garden that he was going to keep his music equipment in. And I thought, no, we won't do that. I'll knock it down so I've got more room now for the dog. And we'd not even been on a date. And I don't know, we just had this feeling. And I think with James, he is the love of my life. And God forbid if anything ever happened to either of us, I think that you can go on and you will meet other people, but it would never be, he would be the love of my life. It would never be the same. It would never be, you can go on and meet other people. But I don't know, for me, he is the love of my life, especially if he does still wear the leathers.
What about you and Eamon?
Well, yes, I definitely would say Eamon is the love of my life, definitely. And, and we've been together a long time. I liked Eamon before I ever met him. I used to watch Eamon on what we called the dirty feed. When I was working at ITV, before I was on the telly, and I worked in the control room.
Dining?
And it had all, when you see those control rooms, it's got all the TV monitors. And my job, I was supposed to be monitoring ITV, but we had a monitor which we called the dirty feed of the BBC, just keep an eye on what they were doing. Oh. And he was doing a programme called Open Air. He was gorgeous. Oh. And I used to put my headphones on, pretending to monitor ITV, but actually be looking at this dark-haired Irishman going, he's very nice, who's that? Yeah. And here I am, married to him. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. But I still think we were very lucky then to meet and fall in love, and we're still together. But I think if we hadn't found each other, we probably, hopefully, would have found somebody.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I hate that, when you say when someone's passed away, it's so tragic. But you want people to have happiness in their lives,
Yes.
don't you? And I
Yes.
hate that attitude when people go like, well, that was quick. There was someone that was quick. I go, what do you want them to be? Miserable?
And also
for the rest of
everything
their
you go
lives?
through in your life. I've been through a lot in my life with relationships, and maybe I needed to do that to meet who I'm with now.
And to be where you are now. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, we all... We better move on before she cries. Now, it is the latest internet phenomenon. I hate that word. Phenomenon. Praise. Thousands of people are tuning in to a live stream video of a skip. Yeah, it's just a skip in a street, and it's called Skip Watch TV. This is my kind of TV. It was launched this week. What they're doing, they put this skip there, and they're just watching people's reaction. Are people dumping stuff in the skip? Would somebody take something from the skip? Are you allowed to take something from a skip? There's a recent poll of British builders. Oh, who's that? What's she doing? Oh, no. It's live. I'm so invested. I was like, was she putting something in the skip? No, she's gone. No, but British builders have said that fly tippers, dumping in their skips, their work skips, is a really huge problem. So would you ever dump something in somebody else's skip?
If it was a skip on the road and I was walking along and I had litter on me and there was no bins...
What, just like a sandwich box?
Yeah, whatever, and I'd put it in the skip. But I wouldn't ever go onto somebody's private driveway and dump something in the skip, because I think that is trespassing. And I certainly wouldn't, you know, all of a sudden, I don't want this sweet anymore, so I'm just going to dump it in next door
Yeah, you
skip.
put a fridge in it or something.
Yeah,
or-
fridge, yeah. You're just obsessed with this life.
I'm not even listening to
I know
you.
you're not
I'm
listening
literally
to me.
watching over your shoulder. Going,
I'm talking to us like that, look. It's a bit like that Avon moment.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but listen, I will hold my hands up. It was a very long time ago. I was very young and naive. But I was doing up a house at the time, and I had 2 empty paint cans, right? And they'd been by my front door, meaning I'll go to the tip or something, because I didn't want to put them in the bin. Anyway, some people had moved in 2 doors down from me, and they were obviously doing some work, and they had a skip outside. And I was going to work one morning very, very early. It was like 5 a.m, filming or something. And as I was coming out the house, their skip empty. Wasn't there a drive? It was on the road, but very much outside their house. And I thought, you know, I'm sure they won't mind, and there's nothing in the skip. No, it's not like I'm filling up the skip. So I dumped my 2 empty paint cans.
Which you're not meant to put in a skip.
All right. I said I was young. I didn't know these things then. I was young. Anyway, dumped them in. And I told my boyfriend at the time what I'd done. And he went, you're not supposed to dump things in other people's... So he was, like, a bit cross with me. And I was like, all right, it's only 2 empty... He's like, no, you know, they've paid for that skip. And he gave me a bit of a lecture. I was like, OK. Anyway, next day, getting up early for work again, came downstairs, and there's an envelope on the front. Yeah, yes. You know where this is going. On the front mat to the, you know, owner, occupier number 10 or something. Opened it, and it was a letter from them saying, you know, we're from number 12, and we noticed that you put 2 empty paint cans in our skip. Well, I was mortified, and it said, you know, if you'd have only knocked on the door and asked us, that was one thing, but to do it without asking, we've paid for the skip, and it was a real time. I was like, I couldn't breathe, and I ran up to my boyfriend. I was like, oh God, those people at number 12, they saw me, and they've put the thing, they've sent me a letter. And he was like, I told you. What did I tell you? And I was like, no. And then he went, it wasn't them, it was me. Yeah. Can I just say I dumped him?
Dumped him, yeah.
I dumped him right in the skip. No, but I was mortified. Say that had have been them, I would have been mortified.
Oh, that would have been so embarrassing. I'd feel OK about taking stuff out of a skip, though, if it was on the street.
Would you?
Oh, yeah, before now, I've taken a sofa out of a skip, and it was a lovely sofa, and we kept it for years. It was lovely. And what else have we got out of a skip? We got the sofa out of a skip. Yeah. And, and also I got a children's play table, and that was outside, you know, next to a skip as well.
I would think, Brenda, if it's outside full of rubbish, right, and on the top is a kid's play table or something, that you think, well, they're clearly throwing it out.
No.
I can utilise that.
They're not clearly throwing it out.
Why?
If you're clearly throwing it out, what I would do is put a note on there and put it outside of my driveway and say, this is here, take it, do what you want with it.
What else would you be doing it?
Well,
if
sometimes
if
the skip is so big, you might be moving things to move things around. So you might put it there, and then you want to put it somewhere else, but you just put it there to hold it for a little bit.
Like a holding bay.
A holding bay, maybe. But I had a skip when I moved into my place. I had a skip because, you know, just getting rid of a few bits and pieces, and people were ending up. I hadn't even filled the skip like halfway, and people were putting their stuff in. But I had CCTV, so I took it out and went and delivered it back to them.
Oh, did you?
Wow.
Well, I paid for that skip. It's like, I've not filled it up yet. But, you know, so now you just cover it with something and secure it so that nobody can open it. But, yeah...
Colin, you like a skip. I like a skip.
I've had a skip at my house for 4 years.
Not the same one. Not the same one, on a rotation.
Not the same one, because that would be a big skip. No, it fills up, and then I go, right, I'm not having another skip, I'm not having another skip. And then they come and take the skip away, and I go, actually, could you bring another one? Why are you all looking at me like that? You know what it is? There's quite a lot of people that were staying at my house, like, you know, there were 7 of us during lockdown and all that. I've got 2 tiny bins, household bins. I don't want to leave in the countryside black bins, you know, on the road because of all the wild animals and stuff. So I ended up having a skip, and we'd just moved in, so we had loads of stuff to get rid of. And now... I'm scared of getting rid of it. It's become part of my family.
Just like your bin.
Like, my kids have left and everything now, but that skip is still with me.
Has it got a name?
Has it got a Skippy?
Skippy.
And if my neighbours from that sad time are watching, I do apologise. OK, we're going to take a break. After that, from fighting over food to getting out of very dull conversations, we've got some cracking daily dilemmas for you, taken straight from some of our favourite Gavin and Stacey moments. Do not miss that. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Tell me tomorrow, I'll wait by the window.
Welcome back to Loose Women, and thank you very much for your comments today. Lots coming in about our lovely guest panellist, Joanna. Jackie says, what a lovely breath of fresh air Joanna is. Well done on your Loose Women debut. Oh. Louise says, about time, a Welsh loose woman. Woo! Carol, what a joy to see Joanna Page on the panel today. Keep her on permanently. Oh. Angie, brilliant lineup today. Thank you, Angie. Absolutely love Joanna. She's so funny and bubbly. Fiona, awesome panel, even better with Joanna on. Thank you very much, Fiona. And finally, Sarah, Joanna Page. She's hilarious and her charm is just delightful. I hope she gets asked back. I'm sure she will be. Sure she will be.
Well, I'm giving it all to you lot. When I go home and I see my husband, he's getting nothing.
So we have got our Gavin and Stacey inspired game, obviously, because Joanna's here. We're doing that in just a moment. Before that, though, competition time again for you, and Kate has got all the details.
I am here to tell you about a fantastic prize worth over £135,000.
There's nothing quite like a good snack at the beach. From fish and chips to ice cream, there's something for everyone, even the dog.
But believe it or not, I do have something slightly better on offer than fish and chips. £50,000 in tax-free cash and a brand new camper van. But be quick because lines close this Friday. Izzy here made me fish and chips earlier. Izzy, they were delicious. And if you won 50 grand tomorrow, what would you do with the money?
I'll go on holiday, go to Malaga.
Would you?
This VW camper could be yours. It sleeps 4, has a pop-up roof and comes with all the mod cons.
This camper van alone is worth over £86,000. So if you fancy winning this bad boy and £50,000 in cash, all you have to do is enter by Friday. Here's how.
Text PRIZE to 88333. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website. Entries cost £2. Call 09068 783333. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY28 PO Box 7558 Derby DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 11th of August at 3 p.m. Good luck!
This could get your summer off to a flying start, but be quick because lines close this Friday.
Thank you very much, Kate. Now, inspired by having Joanna with us today, we thought we'd play a game. Brand new game with some cracking, I can't do a Welsh accent, I'm so sorry. Cracking daily dilemmas taken straight from our favourite Gavin and Stacey moments. So, appropriately, we've called it...
Oh, what's occurring?
Of course we have. So, actually, this is one of my favourites, OK? So, there's a scene where the shipmans, they're all ordering takeaway, OK? And they're going, what do you want? And they're going, should we share this? Should we share that? And then they say to Smithy, do you want to share? And it's me. I just went, that's me. He goes, no, I don't want to share.
Yeah.
What's he? I'm have a booner. No, he has a chicken booner, a lamb booner, a prawn booner, mushroom rice, bag of chips, keema naan, 9 poppadoms, all for himself. And they were like, no, but would you not share? It's like, no, I don't want yours. I'm the same. I go, I know what I want. I want a chicken booner, I want sagaloo, I want plain rice. Don't want to share yours, don't want the lamb rogan josh. And therefore, you order you do you, I'll do me.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm just like, stay away from my food. I want my chicken korma, my prawn jalfrezi and my rice.
Yeah.
If I wanted some of your lamb boona, well, I'd order it then, wouldn't I?
Yes.
So just stay away from mine. I've got mine. I don't want anybody sharing. That's mine.
Yeah.
That's it.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm the same. And also, Brenda, don't even lean over and even try and take a bit of mine.
Yeah, no. I mean, I did have an experience last week, week before. The cast of We'll Rock You were kindly taken out by Lee Mead and Ben Elton for dinner, like 50 of us. And there was a set menu A, there was a set menu B. There's always something that I don't want on one or two or something that's missing. So I was the only one that kind of wrote keema naan next to it. That was
What's
not
keema naan?
It's like a bread with the meat inside. But we went and they didn't have poppadoms as coming out, and so I says, Lee, can I have some poppadoms, please? And the poppadoms came out, went into the middle of the table, and everybody was putting it. And I was like, okay, because I know I've paid for these and no, they're not
you
free.
paid for the
Yeah,
poppadoms
but
as
everybody
well,
was and I was like, okay, but they all apologised afterwards when they realised that they weren't as standard, and I was like, yeah, I don't share. I'm not sharing.
You know, when it says, even when it says sharing plates.
No.
I can't do that.
Sharing
The other
plate
day-
means it's just more food for me. That's all it means.
About 2 days ago, James and I went to a pub and there was a sharing platter of baked camembert. I said, I'm having the sharing platter of the baked camembert and a Greek salad. I'm warning you now, I'm not sharing it with you. I don't want you even to touch it, so if you want some, order your own.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I'll share it with the children, but I won't share with him. But I do have to say, if he does have something, which I like, I will take stuff off his plate.
Oh,
that's
Joanna.
That's
naughty.
bad.
Colin, I
know.
think you're a sharer. Are you
I'm
a
an
sharer?
absolute sharer. I mean, how much do you girls eat? We're talking about takeaways.
I eat
I
a lot.
get a takeaway and I think one takeaway could feed 6 people. There's so much
Are you
in it.
serious?
What, you eat the whole thing?
Yes!
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm definitely a sharer. If I've got chips and you want a chip, you can have a chip. And
I
if you
can't
want
do
this...
that.
Not just
the
reach your
only
hand in and
thing-
take the chip. You've got to ask for the chip first.
Yeah, you
I
don't
don't
just lean
care.
over.
If they go, can I have a chip and take it? I go, yeah, help
You lean
yourself.
over at my plate for a chip, the fork is
My mother
It really
always wants to
The only
share.
thing I won't share is a dessert.
see. She's not the angel you think she is.
No.
OK, so this is another favourite of ours from Gavin and Stacey. This is season 2, episode 3. Stacey moved to Billericay and she was living with the Shipmans and she wasn't working and she's lying on the sofa and Pam comes home and asks her what she's been doing and she basically goes into a very long-winded explanation, you remember, of...
Yes.
I
didn't know what to have for breakfast. I was going to have this, but then I thought, well, don't have that because you could have that instead. Was I going to have something else? And then I was going to have this. And in the end, do you know what I went for? I thought, no, I'm going to have a banana.
And then, and then Pam goes, Stacey, love, I've got to tell you, that's really boring.
Yeah.
She shuts you down as really boring. So then we were talking about that this morning, going, would you ever tell a friend, you know,
Oh.
you're boring me?
I tell a really close friend, like
Don't
when
look
they
at me
finish.
like that.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I do look at you and I'm zoned out, and at the end you go, "What do you think?" I go, "I don't know. I lost the will to live
listening.
halfway through." And I tell myself I'm boring. My kids still sometimes be ignoring me, and I go, "Why you ignore me?" They go, "Mum, you're boring." But sometimes when I'm talking, halfway through, I'll stop and go, "God, that's boring. What a boring story I've
You've
just
got your
told you."
own bore filter.
I have a bore filter where I bore myself. I acknowledge it.
My mum's a Virgo, so she gets really into the detail. So she'll say, well, it was on a Monday and I was going to see Jack. No, it wasn't a Monday, it was Tuesday. Was it Tuesday or was it the Wednesday afternoon? Or was it? And she told this really long story once, and the ending was, and it was at the Village Inn. And that was the ending. And so now we've got this thing in our family where when she goes off on a story halfway through, if there's too much detail, I just end up going, was it at the Village Inn? And that's how we then end the story.
That's how you surreptitiously tell her you're boring.
Yeah, I love you, Mum. I love you.
I don't think I could tell somebody that they're boring. If they're boring me, rather than saying that you're boring, I'll just walk away.
That's worse.
I need to go to the toilet. I need to go to the toilet or... I'm not going to say...
That's even worse.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it is.
No, I don't think
So
so.
you go to the toilet, you don't come back.
Sorry, I've
You're
got to
like,
go for a drink. Sorry, I've got to go to the toilet. You just don't come back.
Imagine talking to Brenda, you're going, oh,
Halfway
yeah, and it's
through
really
I'm
like...
just a horrible person.
And she just
I'm-
walks. She walks off.
All right.
Well, listen, at the risk of boring, I've got to walk off now because we have to go. Thank you very much to Joanna Page. Come back, Joanna, anytime. That's it for today. Tomorrow we've got Good Morning Britain's Charlotte Hawkins joining us to discuss the rise in dangerous dogs. So until then, have a great afternoon and thank you again, Joanna Page.
Oh, what's occurring?